any elements of the things that will make us happy, love, peace, happiness, freedom, justice, and equality, a happy home, respect for one another, love for one another, what I want for my brother, I want for myself, that has been destroyed. And so we needed something to come. We need truth, because up until the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Europeans' knowledge reigned supreme. There was nobody who had more knowledge than them. My whole thing is kind of windy today. My whole thing is about to fall apart. But that's their knowledge reigned supreme. So they had the benefit of us being fools and dead mentally. So we had to become resurrected because we were mentally dead. There was no life in us. And the only information we were able to achieve and get was imperial information. Right? Meaning the Europeans' information. So whatever we smell, think about, learn, is coming from a European standard. It's coming from their book. They write everything down. So everything is based on that. And if it's not based on that, it has no legs to stand on. And Master Fard came to America on July 4th, 1930, to teach the lost, found nation, which is black people in America. And he taught the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for 3.5 years. So this was the first time that we were able to even have an inkling of truth, because everything that we had learned had come through our oppressor, the slave master. They controlled our mind, and we became a beast of burden. And they worked us so hard, we only lived a couple, 20, 30 years. 23 years. Right? So we didn't even have enough information, enough knowledge to even overcome what we were living in their plantations, their land that they took by force. And if anybody was even able to think about questioning them, they would stomp that will out of us. So we became a people that was looking to the future for salvation. When we get to heaven, God gonna make it all right. And so we got to go through here, hell on earth, to go when we die. And if we good and we do certain things and certain rituals and live a certain way, we go to a heaven and we can live there forever. And that been picking up our people's minds. Excuse me, I said I was going to, refrain from that because, even my pops, he said, it turns them off, from the message. So, excuse me for that. But it has been destroying our mind so that they have no competition. Our competition, the only competition is, are we going to be Republican or Democrat? That's what we're competing for. But we're not competing for leadership. We're not competing for overthrowing this thing. We're not competing for their children's position. We just want to be like them. But through the teaching of Elijah Muhammad, we know that there's a time limit on their rule. $6,000 is up, and we can see it just by turning on the news. The world is collapsing, and yeah, you know, they just had an election, and you know, people hoping that things, you know, go back to 4 years ago, and I do too. But I know that even if it goes back to 4 years ago, we still gonna be in hell, black people. We still gonna be no threat to their rule, and the only threat that we have to them is knowing who we are and uniting. And it doesn't mean that we have to, like, I'm JLP, I'm going to unite with PNP, or I'm Democrat, I'm going to unite with the Republicans or the Independents. No. It means I'm going to unite with myself, my family, my loved ones, and we're going to work together. We're going to put some seeds in the ground. We're going to grow some food. We're going to start mending each other's clothing, and you know, learning how to build a house and work with wood and things of that nature, because you know, we know about the War of Armageddon, we know about World War III, but you know, it's like Einstein said, he doesn't know what World War III is going to be fought with, but World War IV is going to be fought with sticks and stones. So meaning that we going to go in a few years, within a few years, we're going to go back to the basics. And so if we don't know how to plant, sow, meaning sowing crops, and taking care of crops, and you know, things of this nature, we're going to be dependent on somebody else to bring us food. And we have to bring our own food to the table. We're going to have to grow our own food. The way the situation is now, if things got scarce in America, who gonna eat first? You know who gonna eat first? The Europeans gonna eat first. The Caucasians, the people who come from the Caucasus Mountains, the cave people, the people that lived in caves, they're gonna eat first. You think they're gonna care about you? And they already showed you that even white women refuse to vote for a so-called black woman. And we could get into whether she's black or not, because, you know, you can look at her family, her parents, you know, they black. You know what I mean? The Indians are black. You know, so I'm not even gonna get into that, because you know what I mean, you know, it don't really even matter. But these Europeans have used our ignorance to work against ourselves, right? Because black people, is more black people on the planet Earth than any other people. We outnumber the Chinese. But once we separate ourselves, I'm a black American, he's Jamaican, he's Haitian, he's Dominican, they Cuban, they Nigerian, they Guyanese, or if they Ghanaian, or right. So that's where we lose the numbers. Of course, there's no America bigger than Ghana, America bigger than Nigeria, and that's by design. They created a system that's going to be attractive to everybody around the world who want money. So the Guyanese come to America, and but they want to live like the American way. and they're giving up their customs. And the people that stand over there and living in customs, they're actually having a better life.
P Funk City G.